We're going to do a very basic technique called Ikkyo. It is actually pretty effective. If I can get a hold of his arm and get control of his balance and his weight, then I can put him in a pretty easy to control position. The problem is most people are unable to get real good control of the person because they move into the Ikkyo and they do it as though it's an arm technique. Just relax. Gotcha. So here I go in with the Ikkyo, and he's going to relax his arm but not his body, and I do like this, and he's not going anywhere. Or he's stronger than me and he resists here, and I'm like, and I've seen people do this. You've seen people do this. It was probably the same place. So, first the thing about Ikkyo is that I have to take his balance and I have to move through his center. Okay? If I don't go through his center, I'm not moving his body, I'm just moving his arm, and this ends up being this right here. So the number one most important thing about Ikkyo is getting into the center of the person's body, right? Taking his balance, and then taking control. I'm going to talk about a lot of things with the Ikkyo, but not yet. I want to start off slow and do a very big, simple movement. We go up, leg comes all the way around, we come down. Other side, we go up, we come down. Don't have to throw the person. If he wants to fall, he can, but if I can get him, I would rather you get him to this position, and then if he tries to stand up, I know that my technique is working if I can maintain control of him. You'll see guys do Ikkyo, and then I go and I throw him, he falls down and jumps on the ground. There's no need to do that. Because a lot of times when that's happening, he's throwing himself. We don't want to do that. The only time we want to throw ourselves is if you find your wrist to be twisted in such a way that you have to jump over it. That's the suenaka-ha. But we don't want to jump into any falls. We don't have to. So we take one step, hand goes up, catching the elbow, catching the wrist. Second step, hand goes down. Biggest mistake for beginners. 1, 2. And then what? On the other side. 1, 2. Why is this such a mistake? There are a couple of reasons, but the one most obvious is that he has an off-balance point. It's a triangle. It's the point of the triangle between his two. If you make a triangle with his feet, it's the point. So he's off-balance here, and he's off-balance here. Where does he have good balance? Well, at his feet. So by pulling him down here, excuse me, I'm not going to take his balance. But if I go here, boom. If I go here, boom. So if I do Ikkyo incorrectly, and I come up, and then I take a half a step instead of a full step, and I'm here, not behind him, then he can resist very easily. But if I go all the way around to the back, we're going to talk about other things because there are more to this technique than just that. But these are the things I want to focus on. 1, moving into the center of him, not in front of him, not on the arm, but into his center using the arm. And 2, taking 2 full steps to get him around. We didn't talk much about how we would use this in a situation, but anytime if he grabs me anywhere, right, if I can get a hold of his hand and just get up under him to take his balance, boom. If he reaches up like we did a couple weeks ago where we had our hands in his face, if I can get under him like this. If he punches, right, I can do a high block and move into an Ikkyo in this way. If I can just, say he's grabbing me with both hands, if I can just get one of his hands and get up underneath him here, and this is the trick. Catching his hands and underneath him here so that you take his balance and you can come around and control him like this. That's a little bit messy, but that's how it works. If he does a straight punch. Is it going to work like this? I don't think that you're going to get that off. Okay? But if he punches at you and you block and you end up finding yourself with a hand like this, then you can come in with an Ikkyo. Understand? So, it is a good technique. It is an effective technique, and it's not hard to make it work. Okay, so, again, when we move in, It's about attacking the body, not the arm. If I focus on the arm, then I'm not going to be able to take his balance. First thing I need to do is take his balance away from him. Look at how he slightly moves. Okay? I'm not going to take his balance. Relax your arm and not your body. I'm not going to take his balance. I'm just going to try to work his arm, and look what happens. He still has a lot of good resistance, even in that off-balance place. But all I have to do is take his balance a little bit. All right, and then what? Much easier to control him. And when I say take his balance a little bit, that's all I mean, a little bit. Okay? When you see the shoulder offline, you know he's off balance. So, when you move in for Ikkyo, go to the center. Now, move in close. Don't move to here, because what happens if I get out to here? Then what am I using my arms and not my body? And that's wrong too. So here, I come too far out, and now I'm trying to use my arms. That's not going to work. Using my body to throw his body, not my arms to throw his arms. So I move in. I want to get close without worrying about getting hit. What do? Atemi. Okay? And then take his balance. Stay in close. Now, what can he do from here? Nothing. And I want you this time to think about, okay, so I'm moving in. I'm taking his balance. So I'm pushing through him slightly. I'm staying close to him. Right? I'm going to pivot around behind him. And my movement, look how much movement I did. It wasn't that much. Here, here. Okay? I stay close to him. Here, here. So that I can maintain control of him. If I come out to here, he gets his control back. And I don't want him to do that. And he can do something to me. Okay? Okay, let's try that. All of these are exercises, and when he grabs me and holds me strong and I'm trying to get out of it, this is just to teach me the dynamics of the grip and how to break the grip. Let me do the other side. So, where's the strong part of his grip? It's his hand, the actual hand part and these fingers here, but not the gap and not the thumb. So whenever I want to take advantage of the weakness in his grip, it's usually going towards the thumb. So if I want to go this way, if I want to break his grip, this is not the Ikkyo, but if he's grabbing as hard as he can, and I try to pull up this way, that's not going to work because I'm going against the strong part of his thumb. If I just try to pull, that's also not going to work. So the weak spot then is this distal joint of the thumb, okay? And that I can use to control him. It doesn't matter how hard he grips. You cannot stop that movement. Okay? So the thumb is the weak spot. Again, this is not a technique. This is an exercise because he's going to be punching me in the face if I'm sitting here doing this. So we're not ever going to be in that situation. We're just using this to train ourselves how the grip is broken. So for Ikkyo, if he's holding on really hard, or if you're having a hard time breaking the grip, it's the thumb is the key. Okay? So a lot of people do Ikkyo like the hands of a clock or something, where they go like this, and they go up, and they come around, and he doesn't resist, and it works. But the moment he resists, then I'm like, okay, I can't get past this point. Got it? But once I move in towards the thumb, then it's easy. Here. See that? Very easy to go here. You guys see, I'm pulling up against the hand. Resist. I'm fighting against his force, right? That won't work. But if I just turn to the thumb, see that? I'm actually using his thumb to move him the whole way. There's nothing, just the thumb. See that?
That was so sensei. That was just a, oh.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
You just compared me to sensei. I'm happy. Okay.
I mean,
here?
like sensei. No.
Okay, so what I want you to practice is, person grabbing is grabbing pretty hard, and you're going to try to move it without doing it correctly to see how difficult it is, and then I want you to just put a little turn against the thumb here, and you'll see that release, and then you can move in and do the Ikkyo. So we're going to do Ikkyo from same side grab. So again, not necessarily real attack that someone would put on you. Now, a real attack might be he grabs me and starts throwing punches at me, and in which case I can still use Ikkyo. It's just that I have to, boom, I have to deal with that punch and slow him down a little bit before I come in with the Ikkyo. So let's talk for a minute, since we didn't talk much about this. In Aikido we have atemi, and atemi is striking. This is why karate and Aikido go together very well. Let's talk about atemi really quickly. Atemi means striking. If someone grabs me, first thing I'm going to do is get his mind off of what he's doing. Okay, so yes, in the Aikido dojo he grabs, we're like, we bow, and then I put my hand out and he grabs, and I do the Aikido, and it's nice. But if we're really practicing for the street, then the moment he touches me, I need to be throwing some kind of strike, something to get him distracted. The atemi is boom, here, anywhere, okay? You can even move in like this and throw the atemi here. Just somewhere you're throwing a strike to get him off balance, or kiai. So there's the atemi, so let's start doing that. But I want to do some from the same side grab, and then we're going to step offline and throw our atemi like this. Okay, that's all we're going to do. And then, here's the Ikkyo. Moving in the same way, except our grip is slightly different. So, first step, we're going to step offline and throw some kind of punch. Can be here and can be the face. Or, if you've never thrown a punch before, what should you do? Palm strike. Okay? Because if you're not trained your knuckles, your palm is good enough. And then come down, catch the hand here. I'm going to bring my hand right up using my body. See, everything is working together. Watch the control. It's a different kind of Ikkyo. You can also do this one. Right? What's the difference? Here. That one.
Other than the fact that you're getting a Ikkyo basically on the way in.
And there's this one.
You need Tenkan. You need Tenkan.
Yeah, okay. So watch what I'm doing here. One, trapping, immediately catching the thumb. Okay, still controlling the thumb. See that? There's thumb control here. But I'm moving right to the arm.